Hi, it's Allison back in my violin studio. Today we're going to do Witch's Dance by Paganini, which is in Suzuki Violin School Book 2. All right, this piece, a lot of people find this piece pretty tricky, and it is a little bit tricky. The good news is that it's really one thing that's causing much of the trouble. So if we just kind of focus on the one thing, hopefully that will solve it for you. I think with this piece it's really important to start by listening to the music and doing air bowing, because the bowing is going to get you in trouble more than anything else. So let's just, you know what this piece sounds like, right? The very beginning is... So the thing is, the bowing, start at the nose, so you know that you're going down bow. It's down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Do this. I know it seems silly, and if you're watching this clip, you're probably an adult, and you're thinking, oh. But do it. Just do it. Okay? Do it 20 times. Down, down, up, ba-dum, ba-yum. Okay? Listen. There's a gazillion versions, or maybe less, on YouTube. You may have your own CD. Listen. Just listen to the thing, and sing along, and just doom, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-yum, ba-dum, ba-doom, ba-yum, ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-yabbity, yabbity, ya. Okay? And the yabbity, yabbity, that's the other thing that sometimes causes a bit of grief. Although I find people usually have less trouble with it. I'll deal with the notes later. For the moment, bowing. It's a triplet pattern. A triplet pattern is odd. This is a violin. You have a bow. It's down and up. That's even, right? So whenever we're dealing with odd patterns on a violin, you have to be aware of what you're doing and know what you're looking for, right? So imagine, well, this is me. You can imagine anything you want. But try imagining that your arm is a double-edged sword, just your forearm, okay? And so when you swing it through the air, you can feel one blade or the other, you know, slicing through the air. So when you go out, you're going to feel the breeze on the outside blade. When you come back, feel it on the inside, right? And it's kind of distinctive feelings, because, you know, you got two bones in there, forearms. So triplet. So we're doing a down, birdie, up, birdie, down. Down, birdie, up, birdie, down. We always give a little bit more of a kick on the first of a group, right? Whether or not you may want it artistically, you need to communicate. Your arm and your brain and your eyes and your ears and the page, if necessary, need to be on the same page. If your arm is just kind of doing, especially if you have a lot of tension in your arm, you're like, your brain doesn't know where you are. And so you might be hearing something. What you're hearing and what you're feeling, your brain isn't able to sort it out. So make life easy for your brain, because you are trying to basically create, I guess, synaptic pathways or whatever. Make it clear. That's down, up, down. Okay, now that's something that, okay, I can, I get it, what the arm is doing, you know. Okay, and sing your way through it. Da da, no, that's the wrong passage. Da 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 dum, da 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 da. So, okay, got the point. Do that. You should be able to air bow and sing all the way through the whole piece without looking at the music. When you can do that, then come back and start working on the notes on the actual instrument. Okay, because I guarantee it's going to be 10 times easier that way. A lot of the difficulties with this piece come from trying to play a piece that you don't necessarily have a clear concept of what the melody is. That piece and every other one. All right, so now let's get on the instrument. First finger on the E string, so down, stop. The articulations are really important in this piece. You won't make it a convincing performance if you don't have really convincing stop bows. So what we're going to do is you have, this is a dotted eighth is your first note. And that's a rhythm dot, the dot after the note, right? So what we're going to do is play the eighth and stop on the dot. So, and then, now when we've stopped that, that is effectively the articulation, because if you notice the E, the second note in the piece, has an articulation dot on top of it. But that's what we're doing here. You can articulate a note before or after, or both. A little complicated sometimes. Ask your teacher, do what she says, he says. So stop, and then these two, we want them to run together. And there's a bit of an issue. You need to know what the next note is, because if you do that one and you don't know where you're going, you're hooped. So make sure you know this. This is one of the reasons for having practiced the air bowing and singing, being able to sing through it. Stop. The second issue there is you've got a string change. So you need to bow to the A, arm forward, finger down. And it's got to happen really fast. Stop. You can actually kind of start that a little bit early, because in the open E string you have no fingers involved. Stop. Stop. That's that. You can stop this. So this is the first note in the second bar, the D. You can stop it on the string, or you can let it ring. Your teacher probably has a preference for that. I think either's fine. But you need to come back to the string. Smack. If you were off, smack it. Well, hopefully with no bouncing. I just mean with energy and vigor. Bite back into the string. And if you stayed on, you're already there. This A, up bow, quarter note, has an accent on it. So you want to kind of give a bit of a kick to it. Right? So not only do you want to bite the beginning of the note, but you want to, really give a... You want your arm to move like a bullet. It's like you've got maximum velocity right now. It's not like it's a poof. So and then do stop your bow and roll over. It'll be really tiny, but it will give you a nice clean. So down, stop, down, up, stop. Really nice high D sharp, third finger stretch. Stop. Stop. And okay, here's your triplet. So now your arm knows what you're doing. This is basically an arpeggio. Arpeggio is a chord that's we're doing one note after the other instead of playing a chord like you would on a piano. This is, we do our notes separately because it's tricky playing a chord on a violin. So this is a pattern you'll come across many, 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 many times in your life on a violin. So it's a A2, E3, E2, A. Practice it. Finger pops. A2, E3, E2, A. And you don't actually have to say it. It's a little confusing. You can just do chocolate, chocolate bar. But you got to do the right fingers. So none, two. But that's A, that's E, right? You got to know which string you're on even when you're doing air fingering. Da do 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 da. Da do 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 do. Do that a few times. And the other one's down further. Do do da do 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 da. So sort out your fingerings that way. It's not childish. It's a smart adult. A smart adult does what's efficient, and this is very efficient. So separate your bits and work on the bits, and then when you put them back together, they just go like a Cadillac, like a lot of cars these days. So I'm going to jump to 4, 8, 12, 16. I guess that would be bar 15. So we addressed the actual bow pattern and rhythm and arm speed. We kind of talked about that. We talked about your finger pattern in the left hand. What's left to talk about on that is you've got string crossings, right? And you need to practice your string crossings. So once you've got the air bowing licked and you know what your finger patterns are, then we do this. Over to D string, back to A, back to D. Okay. Ups. Okay, do that a bunch of times. And, do too much rather than not enough, because it's kind of fun. And again, in terms of training your brain and your body to communicate, if you overdo it, they know what you're doing, as opposed to if you underdo it, they don't realize you're doing something, and then, you know, when you think that the job has been delegated, actually it's not happening. So exaggeration is useful. The next one, beginning of the 5th line or 6th line, over to A, back to E. Again, practice multiple times. Next one, sorry. Stop, over to D, stop, back to A. And you'll notice your arm becomes quite efficient at moving smoothly. And when you have those open strings, it makes it easy because your arm doesn't have to wait until the exact moment to move. It can kind of go a little early or a little late, depending on what works. Yeah, that one's not going to come right away. Okay. Then we go back to the same rhythm we had before, but in minor. It's also marked piano, so quiet, smaller bow, less sound, and it says meno mosso, which means a little bit less movement, which pragmatically could mean to slow it down. But personally, I wouldn't slow it down. I guess you could. Never thought of it. B flat, F sharp, back to F natural. There's your string crossing. High 2. Don't let go of your 3rd finger until you've got the 2 tucked. And then here we have a point d'orgue in French, or fermata in Italian. And that would be, that's your moment to make your own artistic decisions about exactly how long you want that note to last. And we did, coming into that, we had a little bit of a ritardando. So it slowed down. Slowed down. I know I had the wrong going. And then you do a circle, and you go back at tempo forte. Okay, and then you have this little finger race to the end. Which is really all about string levels. Yeah, I kind of missed one there. I think there was one other thing I wanted to mention, but I can't see what it is. So hopefully that helps, and I will also do a clip where I just do 2 playthroughs, a slow one and a quicker one. Okay, so good luck.